audio.
Hello, everybody. We've been talking for the last 16 to 18 minutes.
So much scintillating analyses.
Oh, there's.
This is Dutch Cuthbert here with our special guest, the greedy dragon himself.
Woo! Ow! Love you, Dutch.
That's what you guys do, isn't it?
What do back to dials yell? What is your battle cry?
What is our battle cry?
I'm trying to think.
We'll fix it soon.
So how much? So none of that audio.
There's no audio.
Fantastic.
Looks
you want to
like
break
we've-
down the squads?
Yeah, looks like I'll do Ken. He is running Danger Zone, which is Lulo with Heroic and Trickshot, Poe with Trickshot R4, and Spare Parts Canisters, which is
It's
new.
exciting to see that in action.
Actually, there's a little bit of a typo on there. There's only one use on the Spare Parts Canister, so just a heads up for those viewing at home. Integrated S-foils and heavy laser cannon. And for those of you wondering, if you aren't playing Black 1 on Nien Num, you're probably doing it wrong. So Nien
And
Num,
I'm going to disagree because if you're not flying it on Nien Num, you are absolutely doing it wrong. He benefits so much more than Poe does.
oh, did I misspeak? Did I misspeak?
Oh, I was
Okay.
agreeing even harder with you.
Okay.
Unless I misspoke.
So Nien Num has Elusive, which works really well with his own ability and doing either Talon rolls or 4Ks. Afterburners, which is a pretty neat thing to do with mixing up with like a 4 forward, then a bank boost, and then a black 1 4K. You can get pretty crazy with some of the things, and one of my favorite is to let your opponents mess up. And so if they guess wrong on some of your maneuvers, that's when you can capitalize. And then Nien Num also has a heavy laser cannon.
Yeah, so I had asked you, while the audio was not going, about the heavy laser cannon. So, I mean, Poe loves it, right? He has actions for days, so he can always get the mods, even after repositioning. The question I asked you was, I had struggled a little bit when I was trying HLC on Nien Num because, typically you might have to reposition in order to get the bullseye, and then in certain cases, then you also don't have, unless you nail that pattern analyzer and his ability, you only have the one action, so you'd be chucking unmodified dice, which really is not as good as 3 dice modified. I was wondering how you set up to exploit HLC on Nien Num.
Correct. Originally, when we had started this list, it was Kencho, myself, and Carson who actually qualified for Worlds at the Phoenix system.
Yeah, he worked it.
And we had proton torpedoes. And, man, the increase to 12 points is pretty big. And so one of those things with Ken's setup today is he set up at a slight angle, which gave him a little bit of a better hitbox for that bullseye arc.
Right, because that bullseye is so skinny, so small, doesn't provide a lot of, it's a real tiny footprint, but he'll be casting it along, what's the proper way to describe that geometrically? Along angles. He's making triangles attacking his opponent, so theoretically, it should provide more coverage.
Technically, yes, but then again, it's also 4 points. So, worst case scenario, you're still just firing 3 dice. So that 4th dice is an extra bonus if you can get it modded. Because with Nien Num, typically you just want to focus anyway.
Right.
And then with Poe, it allows you to at least reposition if you need to. Most people are running HLC on Poe these days, but you don't see it too much on Nien. And it's just to get a little bit more oomph into the list, especially with a lot of people running more than 3 ships these days.
Sure. It's a stellar squad. It's actually my Hyperspace squad at Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Andrew Seeley was running this for Extended, I think, right? I played him.
Yeah, it's terrific in every format.
Yeah.
Let's break down Ben Hamor. Hamor.
Hey,
Hamor. He's got a couple of arcs, one named one, and Sinker. Sinker is the guy who, in his side arcs up to, let's see, within range 1 or 2, provides offensive rerolls. So he's the Drea or Hell Runner of the bunch, powering the squad. And a generic other arc, just beefy, tanky, a lot of health. And he's spamming 4 gold Squadron troopers. It's still early, but it is my esteemed judgment that, oh man, these torrents are terrible in general. However, there is a certain quality to quantity, so they are cheap, and being able to spam them with a whole bunch of modified shots does sound pretty good. So it's an archetype that's worked in plenty of other factions, so I'm really fascinated here. So initially, we missed a lot of the action here. Lulo started with a long flank, with the X-Wings feinting straight towards the swarm, but of course they peeled away. It looked like Ben, I believe we believe he brought the gas clouds, is that correct?
Yes.
yeah.
He set them up in order to just not care about them, just fly the long bank around and head towards the X-Wings. But now
it's
that
just habit, though, like people they'll put those things out and they don't really have any type of negative effect. You can land
Sure.
right on them, and it's just a habit of people playing is to like go around obstacles, right? But now you don't have to.
So I'll be playing TIE Swarm today, and I tried out the gas clouds, and because I'm bad, they made me a lot better. It's just that simple. Just don't worry about them.
Just what we need. A greedy dragon, a lot better.
What's that?
TIE Swarm, right?
Yeah.
You want to be on stream?
I've had a kind of a run of weird experiences on stream lately, but I'll never turn it down.
Good.
Are you not entertained? I'm always I'm about giving to the community more than trying to hide.
If it's entertaining.
Duncan.
So for those of you following along, Sinker is the one that allows rerolls, and that's the arc at the top of the screen. That's the PS3 one. So it looks like all 5 of Ben's other ships are in his side arcs at range 0 to 2.
And he's got a tough choice coming up in terms of which direction to go next turn. So this is a terrific guessing game of X-Wing. When it's classic, right? You got aces against the swarm. And with any 3 of the aces, if they turn if they just stumble into that firing line, it'll just melt. On the other hand, if the swarm guesses wrong, they'll be facing a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, so here is something that we were debating. It's Lulo with trick shot versus an opposing ship through a gas cloud.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, do you really want to be setting yourself up for that? Because they
Absolutely
pretty much get an auto evade.
It's not a big deal mathematically, but it's ever so slightly favors the gas cloud player.
The defender.
Honestly, I think trick shot's terrific, right? For the points, even at 2 points, just a tremendous value. However, it's not as good as people think when you do the math. Like it provides a small bump, which when you're flying something like Danger Zone, you need every little bit of offensive boost necessary.
Yeah.
Available. So yes, but no, you don't want to set something you want because it's actually a detriment.
Yeah, because it looks like right now Ken has that range 2 through an obstacle, so
right.
obstructed, so that that Gold Squadron trooper will get that bonus extra green dice.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you that don't know how these gas clouds work, and then if you roll a blank, you get to automatically change the result to an evade, correct?
Yes. If Lulo was getting shot at, though, he would, of course, absolutely want it.
So Ken rolled hit, crit.
Money. 4 red dice being? Oh,
Yeah.
because I trick shot.
So
Yeah, I had a
D,
different brain fart.
that's what happens in our old age, D.
It does. Like it's.
Kids do that to us.
Yeah, speaking of, my kid's not here because he was grounded. And this morning, I get a furious phone call from my wife.
Shout
Shout
out
out
to Mrs. Diyun, by the way.
Yeah, she's very kind, allowing me to leave that mess behind for a weekend.
I feel you. Mrs. Dutch Cuthbert.
She sounds heroic.
She's an amazing woman. She lets me play with plastic spaceships with my friends every once in a while.
Wrangling 3 little ones, no less.
Yep, and she's an amazing woman, and being able to do that, so I commend her.
All right. I think so. The hotel owner, I think, is doing something to our audio. It's getting really, really choppy. While it's at Niles, can you just quickly stop and restart the stream?
Sure.
Yes. Okay.
So we're gonna quickly reset, guys. So brief. Hold up 1 second. We're trying to help with the audio.
Stand by. Mostly just Nien.
We're live again.
Welcome back.
Howdy, howdy.
Miss us yet?
Everyone misses you, Dutch.
Thank you. So I have my sexy radio DJ voice on. I don't know if you can tell if my
It's so
voice
sultry.
is a little bit lower.
And
Hello, can you
Asa
go?
was just shaking his moneymaker. So here's a fascinating choice.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Yeah. Ben had to decide which way he was going around that rock, and he's committing hard with that hard turn barrel roll. And the torrents are headed straight. So hedging his bets.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. I like the plan because it continues to
Keeps them
pressure Poe
open. Okay.
in successive turns. Because when I saw the arc do that, I was thinking, well, Lulo's just going to bail out hard.
Yeah, I think Lulo's either doing a 2 or 3 bank to the right and just switch that arc behind him. And then come back around, loop back around the top to the left would be my guess. But let's see what Sinker does, because with Ben, he might not get the rerolls. Oh, looks like he will.
You know what I've been trying to figure out with Lulo? I mean, obviously, he's the best of the RZ2s, and the RZ2s are amazing to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
But his fire duty cycle is interesting, right? So, as you mentioned, right, he can just bone out and get that rear arc. But then afterwards, if that's the way he committed, because you have to conserve his health. I went with the straight. Works out just fine.
Yeah. Is that a 4 straight, I'm guessing?
Looks like a 5.
Or 5?
So when he does bail out, he does have the shots as he's extricating himself. But then typically for 2 turns, coming back around, no shots.
Yep.
So does that? I've been trying to. It's hard to work that out mathematically because I gotta actually keep track of how I'm flying. Does that? Do you feel like that's the proper way to fly him to maximize his build and abilities?
Yes and no, and it also depends on the playstyle of the player. I like to keep it more in front because it means I have more shots on target more
Right.
often. Because, like you said, when you start to fly away, then you're spending 2 turns to catch back up. But
How do you do that without risking him just popping? Because he could, one bad shot, he could just go poof.
Yep, for sure. And that's just something you have to be cognizant about, and it's with any ship, really.
Sure.
Right. But yeah,
That's ace play.
With 4 hit points, you always have to be careful with that. Just like Suntir, 5 dice, with focus and evade, and he still dies in 1 shot sometimes.
Oh, I think I was mistaken earlier. Is that Nien? Is black 1 color coded appropriate?
Huh. It is. If you could see, it looks like he has a 6. So I think he moved.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Nien first, and then see we're
So
just
black 1 isn't black 1.
Correct. That's post ship. PS6. We
Right.
just got lost in our own.
My eyes are bad.
Our own voices. Just soothing each other, I guess.
I'm fascinated when and where Ken will commit. What would you do here, Dutch? You got Nien Num in pretty fantastic position to too hard back in.
Yep.
Poe is gonna have to play it conservative there because if that entire formation catches him.
Oh, look at that. Ken
Yep.
got it. Target locked into 3 hits.
4 took 1 damage. Okay. Where's 3? 3 is the one left of it. Yep. This one. Okay. And then. Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So 2 is up here.
It's still good on Ken. He's gotten 2 rounds with no shots back at all.
Indeed.
That's how you play aces, right? But
Lulo's so good.
These next couple turns will be crucial for Ben. Let's see what he does.
Here's a question. If you're not flying resistance in hyperspace, are you doing it wrong because of just the quality of those A-Wings?
For the point cost?
For the point costs.
Oh, man.
Because I don't know what the baseline is anymore, right? We recently got RZ-1s for Rebels in hyperspace, and they're probably, like, I want to say, like, baseline, the point cost seems right to me.
Yep.
But I can't bring myself to fly them because they're just atrocious compared to their next-gen counterparts.
You know, the A-Wings, the old school players, the A-Wings sort of were always a thing, and I've been told about how amazing A-Wings are, but with the back arc on these RZ2s, they are absolutely bonkers.
I keep wondering if in July they'll go up.
Possibly. Who knows? I've been talking with Ryan Ontopsky through OCX, and he placed really well on one of the hyperspace trials. Is that what these things are called now? Regionals, whatever.
Primes.
Prime.
Primes?
Okay, sure. And, you know, if I had 2 weeks more practice, I probably would have switched to his 5 A-Wing list if that was the case. But I have...
Is that the optics and...
It's 5 different PSs.
Right.
Well, no, I think he has Lulo, Tally, Greer. I know...
sprinkle them all in there.
So, like I said, I don't like switching last minute. I have 50-plus games with Danger Zone, so go with what I know. That's one of my...
I would not be surprised if you took this whole thing.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. You're gonna definitely make things harder, Carson. I mean, we all have our eyes on the prize. We want to get that World's invite, right?
I mean, I'm really not hoping for that, but
you fly out all the way here from California.
I gotta admit,
ninja style.
Well, so I miss.
I'm just gonna come to Wyoming and make this easy trip, and
I missed Phoenix last week.
Yeah.
Because of life, I was really bummed about that. And had some companions who made this trip really easy. Yeah, actually, Carson's peeking in right here, and it's all his fault. He was the one who asked me if I was coming. I'm like, where? And here I am.
For one, I'm incredibly happy that you're here. It's great to see you again.
I'm hugging Dutch right now.
I mean,
it's always a good time.
We have conflicting thoughts on fantasy football, but besides
absolutely.
that, we're good buds.
Disagreement is the heart of friendship.
I just love it that, like you said, having good disagreement, it's okay to be disagreeing as long as we're not yelling at each other, right?
Absolutely. I yell at Farmer all the time, and I love him.
Okay, it looks like a 2 hard in.
Yep, here's the chase. It's on.
Putting that pressure on Poe. On these things, are the barrels white?
They should be, I believe.
And then it links to an evade?
Oh, holy cow.
I just looked at it and...
it's always exciting.
Yep. he just said that link to an evade, but it's a red evade.
Hey, back to Dallas. You guys got to put a separatist squad on there at some point because that faction is so fidgety and convoluted.
Oh my goodness!
It's amazing.
It's gonna be a hot mess.
Next round.
I was trying to figure something out for them, but I realized I wouldn't be able to follow my own triggers.
Fidgety and convoluted.
So Nien will have free reign to do whatever he wants without even worrying about pulling off his tricks.
Yeah, but Poe's going to be taking at least 3 shots here, depending on what he did. I hope he didn't too hard in.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nien's going to light things up. He's definitely going to get something in his bullseye.
So here's where I'm getting really curious about how to fly sinker.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't put him on the table yet. We just got him, but I did a couple of head sims, and I thought this is where right. Like look at where he is and where he will be in successive turns. It's really tricky to keep things in that side arc, and still be effective. Like you want him to contribute some offense as well.
Exactly. So this is what I tell a lot of my team is let your players, your opponents make the mistakes. And right now, he's putting himself in a position where, yes, for this round, he's going to help out his other ships, but the following round, where is he going to go? He might be able to fit a 2 hard in there, but still, even with the 2 hard, then he doesn't get the benefit.
Exactly.
So it's one of those things where you're putting yourself potentially in a bad position for next round, but maybe you don't need that for right now. Just try to blow up Poe right away.
Hey, we might have some straight. No, so Clone Commander Cody is the gunner on sinker, and that reads after you miss, if one or more hit or crits were neutralized, the defender gains a strain token. Refresh my memory. What strain even does?
Sure. So, and maybe the back to dials will correct me if I'm wrong, but a strain will reduce your agility by 1.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get attacked, then you lose your strain.
Okay. Or you can clear it with a blue maneuver.
Correct, because it's red.
And when you do, you clear both. If you're also stressed, you clear both. Is that? I believe that's correct, right?
I believe so.
Yes, but if you have 2 strain, only 1 strain gets removed.
Makes sense. Oh, man. And Nien just does not care about the debris. It's going to be great next turn as well. Because he can pattern and ability to his heart's delight.
Yep. I wonder why Ken didn't boost with Lulo there to get shots on target. Maybe he's defensive with Sinker.
Yeah, there is that, right?
Him.
And it would be an unmodded shot. I mean, 3 dice, but still. I probably would have boosted myself. I think I concur with you.
Judge call for bullseye.
So it looks like there's a judge call for bullseye. Ken thinks he might get the back corner, but
it is close.
It's pretty close. It's definitely definitely obstructed though.
I gotta admit, as a judge, I am not a fan of bullseye because
it's tough. Mm-hmm. It's just like the slight degree angle twist,
right?
And you're like, oh, it's way off.
Arcs are tough enough to get right.
And it looks like the call for the judge is in arc, and then Ben just moved all the ships, so
HLC into the arc.
It's part of the game. Oh, is he going for the torrent instead?
No, he's going for the arc.
Okay.
I think he's going into the arc.
Yeah, so that's what they measured.
For 4.
4 hits. So it's range 3, HLC obstructed, so he should be rolling 3 dice. 2 evades.
Okay?
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on the janky range rulers
Oh my goodness.
that they came out?
Should we have this conversation? It's
it
a little.
it looked like Thomas the Train to me because we both have kids, right? Did your son play with Thomas the Train? as growing up?
nonstop.
Okay. Oh, I guess we're getting off topic. So 2 damage versus no evades there on Poe. So Poe already lost 2 shields. That's big.
So he'll be dancing and flying away the whole game. And we might head into that interesting mid game where if Ken Cho is unable to pin down Poe, he'll have to start deciding to turning in on one of the other aces.
Yeah. So 4 shot had a 1 hit and Ken evaded. So now 3 is out of range, it looks like, on Poe. And then Gold Squadron Trooper 2 is shooting on Nien. Range 3 unobstructed.
Not that I'm trying to get your secrets or anything, but whenever I fly Danger Zone, I actually prioritize keeping Nien Nunn alive. So conversely, I guess I'm giving away my secrets if we get paired, but I prefer to take out, like Nien's my target priority.
Okay.
I mean, I'll go after whatever I think you're dangling. Like, I'll be able to catch for sure, like any of the 3. But do you agree with Ken's strategy of prioritizing Poe? The way this match has unfolded thus far.
Are you talking about Ken dangling out Poe?
Oh, I'm sorry. Ben's decision to prioritize burning down Poe.
I think for
Because
me,
these aren't very good shots.
No, it's not. For me, Ken is dangling Poe out there, like you said.
Yeah.
And because... Okay, looks like Lulo just took 1 damage.
Yep. It's
Okay.
a big deal for a little pot shot like that.
Not bad. And yeah, if he would have boosted in, he would have been only rolling probably 2 dice on that. So,
With no mod.
yep.
So, our in that alternate universes where we're playing, our Lulo's what, at 1?
Yeah, right.
Ben,
Good job, Ken. Good call.
Roll 3 dice out the butt of that arc, right?
They should be rolling 2 out the rear arc.
You did just take the shot at Lulu.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Oh, so we're gonna do a quick pause here and probably redo that because he rolled 3 dice out the back. It looks like.
Missed that.
All right, redoing the attack.
Okay. Cheating averted.
It's not a stream if you don't cheat.
It looks like auto evade with
Yep.
that evade token. So
Strain is happening, but it's irrelevant.
yeah,
With that RZ2's amazing dial.
yeah, right. So going back to your question, as far as target priority,
Sure.
it's.
I mean, they're all bad, right? But
Exactly, and of course you're trying to extract information out of me already, right? But
well, I mean, I gave some.
but yeah,
I'm an open book.
It's same here. It's a pick your poison, really.
Right.
And it's for me, it's playing against it because I play a lot against Ken and Carson. So it's you have to sort of just give what they take what they give you.
Sure.
More or less. But then also make sure that you put yourself into situations where you can audible and turn on the other ship if you need to.
Right. I mean that's one of the fundamentals of ace play, right? Honestly, the overriding adage is when in doubt, don't. Because that's how you lose matches for no good reason. So what does Poe do here? He's stressed.
3 forward, boost out probably. Or if you really want to get crazy, 2 hard in.
Let's think about that. That's interesting.
If Ben thinks
So
that he's
close
gonna,
foils, right? Because you got to be able to barrel roll left after that 2 turn.
Yep. If Ben's gonna chase, right? Are 1 and 2 making like 2 hards or 2 banks?
I think it's tough to risk that because that lead arc is in great position to block that maneuver, and then he's just toast.
Most likely. Yeah.
So for me, that's a very
definite
doubtful,
no. Yeah.
doubtful situation.
And what's cool about Nien with his ability, he could just go right over that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That what's that thing called again?
Debris?
Yeah, debris. Old age, you and me, right?
And get 2 actions.
No, because he's not doing a red maneuver.
Oh, thanks.
He does.
Yeah, us old fogies got to stick together. That's right.
Calvin X-Wing.
But if he has an enemy ship within his arc range 1, he will get to clear the stress though.
Right. And he can make that happen if he wants to be unstressed for next turn.
Yep.
With either a booster barrel roll. Something's got to be available there.
Yeah.
You just look like an old man, not you actually an old man. Yep.
Is that a May? Do you hear what's going on?
Yeah.
They're doing.
I did kind of glibly say that it doesn't really matter because of the dial, but
Yeah.
Very good.
yeah,
point.
it's mandatory.
It is mandatory, but in what world is Lulo not doing a blue maneuver next
Right,
turn?
like I mean, I guess he could have done a 1 hard,
yeah.
but
It's a 2 hard, like we all know that. Or 2 bad.
you know, actually I'm a little confused by Cody on sinker, right? Because sinker's shooting last and that strain is largely it's irrelevant for that round's combat.
Sinker should be shooting at initiative 3. They fired out of order last round.
Oh God, I'm so See, this is why I'm really worried about playing today. Right, high initiative fires first.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where he belongs.
Hey, guess
Good job,
what?
Ben.
He totally would have blocked that 2 hard in, and Poe would have been screwed,
Right, yeah.
So, but a 3 forward, you're right in range 1, essentially.
I don't think the barrel roll won't get you out either.
Poe is not in a good spot right here, no matter what.
Do you agree with because he can link into what? Sorry, what? The Torrent's barrel roll link into
Evade. Red evade.
Would you have just taken the focus there for the near guaranteed 2 hits?
One would think, right? One would think. And then it depends on what he's doing with sinker. I mean, if you got a 1 reroll with focus, I mean, come on, take that, right?
Oh, actually, it's not near guaranteed because, like we were discussing, sinker will. I don't see any way sinker applies his reroll ability to number
this
4.
round. Yeah.
The one he just barrel rolled with.
Yep. Makes sense.
So I do want to say this. Whenever I second guess players, I'm just sharing what's in my own mind because obviously I've said many stupid things already.
You and me both, buddy. You and me both. This is the first time I've actually commentated a game.
How do you like it?
Pretty good. I mean,
This is a good time. This beats playing.
I'm
You get all the pleasure of X-Wing without any of the strain.
yes.
Our agility is to the max.
I'm fine with public
Cut
speaking.
tomorrow,
though.
you can commentate with me full time.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Oh, what I was gonna say earlier to your question was, I mean, for me, I feel like that Worlds invite is a pipe dream, but the templates I have, like a statistically, I mean, it's small, but a meaningful chance at they are outrageous. They're so good.
Well, I think you have a really good chance for it, but
It's tough. All right, we're already giving up some MOV,
Yep.
using that buy.
yep.
So I got to get 5 wins because TIE
Yeah.
Fighters bleed MOV.
So we have 42 participants with 6 buys. Swiss Triangle says 1 6-0, 5 5-1s, and 2 4-2s will make it.
2.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's possible, but
Uh,
your MOV needs to be good.
Last night I checked Swiss Triangle, and it was telling me 3 of the 4 and 2 should make it. But I think that's 20% of the field is using their buys, so it's really skewing
Yeah.
how that operates. That's interesting. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, so the buys do definitely skew it.
Mostly, I just wanted to avoid that. Yeah, I wasn't ready to play A, but B, when you're headed into a foreign meta that you have no and I have no idea what Denver people were up to or Cheyenne, right? And on top of that,
We just play Miranda Nim all the time.
so much new content.
Yeah.
Right, we're talking 2 new whole factions, and then on top of that, with the 3 original factions, they all got new content.
Well, in hyperspace.
Right.
Oh man, it's
Yeah, he's gonna clear the stress. This is great for Nien.
you have to roll for the debris this time though.
So the primary reason I even brought the buy card was I just didn't want to worry about getting some strange janky thing round 1 that just had my number for whatever reason.
Yeah. It's if you have it, use it, right?
So here's where I do love HLC. You can close foils, barrel roll, and range 1, you still got the max dice.
Do you think? Yeah, he has number 2, sort of the back corner.
No mod though, right?
No mod. But
Oh,
see,
the
even
really-
in this case, it's still range 1, and he can get crits. So it's not that
Oh,
bad.
look-
And he's remaining out of arc. Ooh, wow.
Look at that clutch bailout. So he's gonna get peppered, but he's not blocked, so he'll have a focus.
And 1, 3, and 4 Gold Squadron troopers, they don't have any offensive mods, so it's just 2 dice naked, essentially.
Is he trying to figure out next turn?
I think right now, obviously, he doesn't want to barrel roll.
All right, he
And if he
capably
boosts-
dodged that arc's arc.
If he boosts, then he might be in the arc's front arc,
I-
right?
Asa's giving me the shooty fingers for that one. It was not intended or even a pun. He just has no reason why he should like that.
Is that like a
If you
170
donate
degree
to Back to Dials Patreon, I will get up right now and smack him right in his filthy gob.
Facebook.
Any amount,
Slap me right
any
in the
amount.
butthole.
Lowest tier is fine.
Asa just said pun hole, so
That's where I pull him out of.
okay, back to the streaming.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that boost would fit. Like I have a hard time gauging the angles with the slanted, stream camera.
Well, not only that, but remember that he is already at an angle too, so
Right.
it's not your typical eyeball when you're at a
Gotcha.
45 and 90 degree angles.
Oh, did we talk about the 22.5 degrees once we got
little
back?
bit,
A little bit
bit,
with
yeah.
the HLCs.
Not as much. Well, I do want to shout out John Conley, and he's been a big proponent of that within the Colorado area.
One of the pioneers dating back to way back in first edition.
Yeah, he's a great ambassador to
So-
our community.
It does provide a bunch of advantages. One, it throws your opponent, who just most opponents will be unaccustomed to that. Secondly, in terms of maneuvering, it lets you shimmy around. You can really snake with those banks and go fast while still changing your arcs and catching opponents in your firing arcs.
Yeah.
A lot of really neat stuff you can do with that. I have tried it. What I find is I lose so many of my other geometric tricks that rely on knowing exactly, being at 45 degrees of my opponent, that I have not invested in pursuing it. But there are definite advantages to, if you want to explore that, setting up at that 22.5 degrees.
Yeah. It's funny, we're commentating, just talking back and forth to each other. We're not even talking about the game, so
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Catch us up.
Let's do a quick recap. It looks like number 2 is at 2 hole left from Nien, probably taking a shot. Right now, Poe's getting his butt kicked, but again, with unmodded shots, he's surviving this. And he still has his focus up. So it looks like he'll get through this round. But he's still gonna, with the way that things are pointed, he's still gonna get kept on getting shot at.
Sure. So I really was not a fan of those torrents all barrel rolling. Looking ahead to next turn, what are the blues here on the torrents? They're bad, right? So he'll want a bank, but the only one available to him is the one bank, and now Poe will be able to just scream on out of those firing arcs, because next turn Sinker will be able to hard turn, land on that gas cloud, just irrelevant, and be able to mod up his companions again. But Poe will be gone.
Yep.
So what do you do if you're Ben now, having, like you're in this position, those torrents? Do you care about the stress? Do you just full on 3-bank hot pursuit anyway, just relying on Sinker?
Which one is it? Second?
I'm gonna say this. I don't like the torrents. What? I don't like the torrents. So it's, I mean, the blues you just pulled up are 1 banks, 1 straight, and 2 straight.
Yeah, you can't go straight here.
Like no, jeez, it's just so terrible. I mean, how do you catch up to a boosting Poe?
And Ben's just hard committed, right? Even the 2 hards, right? If Ken makes a mistake with Lulo, he could catch Lulo, but that's about it.
Yeah, but Ben's a really good player. He's local to the Denver metro area. I really like a lot of the lists that he brings. Oh, and this
I do like this move.
Pretty cool move.
Yeah, that's dope.
I think he's got this block
On the 2-turn, for sure.
or a 2-bank even.
That's interesting. I can't tell with the 22.5 and the camera angle.
Yeah, but if he's got that can give these torrents a chance to catch up, right? Shout out medium base ships.
They're surprisingly fast with those barrel rolls.
And see, just as I was talking Ben up, he pulls off this great move.
So he absolutely has to get that block.
Yeah, and if he does, I think he's got a and then it's an unmodded Poe too,
right,
on defense. So that'll be really good for him if that's the case. But I had talked with Ben a little bit last night, and he just I just want to try out the new stuff, And he wasn't really practicing this. He actually had some pretty good success with a really cool Han Solo, C-3PO, coordinating Magva and everything else. Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's bringing the Fat Han back a little bit.
I was toying with bringing Fat Han and Luke to this event, yeah. Because Luke loves those gas clouds.
Oh, I bet.
And Han, so does Han for that matter. He just parks himself on it, gets the rerolls.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, it wasn't a turn.
Oh, uh-oh. Okay, so a couple of his
So
his
number
ships.
2 won't be benefiting for sure. I'm not sure about number 4. I'm sorry, number 1 I'm not sure about.
Huh. 2 straight.
That's pretty safe because he could have bank boosted right
Yep.
to get out of the torrent barrage. Ooh, that's bold though. He's going for it because he will be taking 3 dice out the rear.
So, if you notice, what did he take as his first action?
Boost and change arc.
Oh, was the arc backwards? I thought he changed arc the time before.
Was it forward?
It looks like a focus or a lock boost.
Because
He's got a token up there. So
okay,
Wait, no, that's
kind of looks like a weird curl paw focus.
because
or something
that's the thing with the RZ2s. You need to make sure that you're sequencing things correctly. To get
Oh, so he just
to
boosted.
to
KG.
get that stress, there's only two ways you can get that stress. It's the boost afterwards or the rotate your arc.
Right.
So I haven't been, I'll be honest, I wasn't paying attention. We were sort of just chatting and talking. So maybe Ken already did something the turn before. I'm not sure exactly, but
Adam's clarifying.
Okay. We're going to get that clarified. Okay, so
I think
no block on Poe here.
Ben's doing what he had to. He got early damage on Poe, and at that point, you're kind of committed, right? Yeah. But do I keep switching their names? So Ben's been flying. He's doing what he has to. Ken's Poe play has just been fantastic. Just real cagey.
Who used to shoot with Poe?
No. Absolutely not.
Okay. So it looked like the turn before the arc was rotated backwards. So he boosted as his normal action, and then as his A-wing action, he went ahead and rotated the arc to the front. But yeah.
Next turn, Poe will have to two-turn of a surety.
Don't want to pull a Toronto and do like a too hard right?
Oh no. Oh, no, it's not final table.
Too soon?
You gotta wait till
first table. I mean, no one's awake yet, right?
Was that off HLC?
No, that's just range 1.
Didn't he barrel roll?
Yeah, but when you're in bullseye, you still don't get that restriction that like.
Oh, that's right. He's a regular
T65s
primary. Gotcha.
have. Yeah. Looks like.
See, and this is why I say I'm bad.
Disabled power regulator.
Disabled power regulator. Okay. I had to cock my head sideways.
He can work around that.
Yeah, he's got one more turn to his
Oof. Yeah, that was a really bold play by Lulo.
Yeah. Now Carson's playing a version with Lone Wolf on his Lulo.
Right.
And he plays it a lot different than Ken and I.
Sure.
Actually, all three of us are playing sort of pseudo different, but the guts are still there.
Yeah, I remember that from Phoenix. So he's putting a lot of time making sure that Lulo's Lone Wolf is able to trigger.
Well, it gets into a weird conundrum as an opponent. You're just like, well, there's no way I can kill him. He's just playing defensive the whole time. And then if you ignore him, then he just comes up right from behind and just starts just wrecking things.
Sure.
So you gotta be careful. And Carson plays that list very good. So I'm interested to see how he'll perform. I'm sure just fine.
I had totally forgotten he'd moved to Colorado.
Yeah,
I
we
love
get
your
him now.
Jerseys
Oh, thanks.
that you guys are all sporting.
Yeah. So we have
Cool enough.
a pretty cool group of guys. We're Mile High Squadron. We have our nicknames on the back with our number, and got a friend helped us out with some of the artwork. So yeah, turned out pretty good. And it's great when you have just a group of guys to bounce ideas off, and
I feel like that's mandatory. You
and
need
really
good
help
players
each other
with you.
out.
Yeah.
Not be selfish about things. Like I'm hoarding all the secrets to myself.
Absolutely not. Yeah, that does not work.
Because with me just being involved in competition my whole life, is I always wanted to play against the people that are better than me, because they make me better. And
yeah, you learn nothing when you beat up on new players or
yeah. So that's been instrumental to my X-Wing career.
Ready to numbers?
Did you say 3K?
Yes, he did.
Ooh.
So he's had enough of those other two aces just tormenting him unmolested from the rear. So
So Ben sprung a little bit of a trap here.
yeah,
right?
he did. I like this.
I wonder if Ken even thought about this.
I think if he had better firing effect on Poe earlier, like if Poe was down to, let's say, 2 hull, it'd be a different story.
Yeah.
But both in terms of position and materiel, I feel like Ken's ahead in this match. So Ben's got to do something here.
Well, not only that, but we only have 18 minutes left.
There's that.
Jeez. Have you been noticing that more games have been going to time?
In second edition
Yeah.
in particular? Yes. Bugs me because I like to finish games.
It bugs the living daylights out of me. I've been floating the idea, and I know it's not a very a popular one, but I want planning phase to be a hard 3 minutes.
I am all for clocks.
Yeah.
In terms of enforcing it, in floor rules, FFG has other fish to fry first.
Yep.
So, it's tough to bang that drum right now, but
Of course.
tentatively I agree with you.
And it will eventually, yeah, it's going to be rough at first because people that are playing, 4+ ships, they're like, oh, I don't have enough time. But you're going to train yourself to really be able to do that.
I actually find
And it's okay to make mistakes.
the offenders to be, in terms of eating up too much clock, to be players who are overthinking their decision trees
Yep.
with multiple repositioners in that, 3-ship range. Actually,
Yeah.
I think Ken's been, flying briskly enough here. If I was his opponent, I'd have no problems with the pace of play. But a lot of players who do fly this archetype, you can visually see them going through their decision tree 4 times. Just
yeah.
commit. Go through your tree once. It hasn't changed. When you do it again.
Yep.
And take your time and suss it out like that on that one run through. But then make a choice, bro.
Have you watched streams in other countries?
Yes.
So when I first started playing X-Wing, I watched probably 1,000 hours of YouTube video because that's how I absorbed. I wasn't able to get a lot of table time
Right.
with 3 kids.
Oh, this is my practice. I practice during events.
Yeah. And so the pace of play for the U.S. versus other countries, in my opinion, is pretty different. And it's interesting to see the diversity of
Sure.
that. And like you said, I want to finish games.
Ideally.
Ideally, but, time is also a resource.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Okay, so Nien going to take a couple range 1 shots.
Oh. Yeah, sorry.
Lula Lula looks like he's in good shape though. That was the real danger, being
Yep.
only at 2 hull.
Wait. Oh, does he have the astromech? Yes, he does. Okay.
I'm a little disappointed we haven't seen spare parts canister in action.
To be honest with you, I think Ken's probably forgot all about it. It's one of those things that you put it on there, and all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I have this card. Especially since it's so new.
Right.
So right now they're discussing if Ken wants to use 4 dice
Or 4 dice.
or 4 dice. But he thinks since it's range 1 and not an arc, that he won't get the bullseye bonus of the T-70. So really the option is 4 dice or 4 dice. I would take the range 1 because you get a chance to crit.
Exactly.
Uh-oh.
Did he take Ben's? Oh, the lock.
And that's a
That looks
dead
like
arc.
Yep.
Yeah, Ben's in a world of trouble now. He's not even going to get the hope of a return shot there on Poe. Is it deceased? Should have been removed from the table.
It should have, because we're on a rain or
Initiative 5 now.
Yep.
Wait, oh, because that was Poe.
Looks like Ken is shaking his fist in yes instead of my dice.
Number 1.
Nien, number 1.
2 hits and a crit on number 1. It looks like, and number 1's full up, right? Hit crit. Crit is structural.
User Fell's Wrath says, "Hi D."
Hi, Fell's Wrath. I guess I'm just getting old because it's the stupidest mimetic piece of garbage that has caught on.
What? What's going on?
Just saying hi.
Everybody's laughing, and I don't
Hi,
understand.
Dutch.
Hi, D.
Hey there. So I really gotta tip my hat to Ken. 'Cause I think Ben's for all my second guessing, honestly Ben's played a really solid game with some really interesting just what would have been absolutely clutch moves had they paid off. But Ken's Poe play is he's in the driver's seat.
Oh, by the way, Ken Cho, he owns District Foundry.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. They're amazing. The thing, I'm just astounded because Lester just had a thing commissioned,
Yeah, he had a template tray come in, right?
and it's like, it reminds me of like Swift's craftsmanship, just these interlocking little intricate parts, and actually, what I was telling Ken, what I'm really impressed by is the intuitive design. There are psychological design cues about how to use everything. Like, you're never in doubt about how any of the parts work, even though there's so many integrated little bits. I might have to throw some money at him.
It's well deserved.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
like you said, great craftsmanship. And you can put I'm not sure if he's advertised it, but you could put some sweet designs. I know he's got the Minoc logo
Yep.
on the
He
one.
took our vector file and engraved it.
Oh,
Untouchable.
Nutters. There went Ben's hopes and dreams down the toilet. Love you, Ben.
Wait, did he not remove? He didn't remove that arc yet, did he?
The sinker's at 2.
Yep, he got the disabled power regulator on him from the ion tokens.
Wait. The top one is the 104th Battalion.
Right, that was the
pilot.
generic.
Okay. But now he's doing he's activated twice sinker, so now he's doing a 1 forward with an ion, right?
So it's not deceased.
correct.
Okay.
So Poe did get a shot back at him. It
Okay.
looked like.
Oh, and
Poe-
had some effect. So Poe's in danger of losing half points then.
Yep.
With one more.
Phantom Nerf says, "Hi D."
Keep it coming.
So Asa, how do people can they donate on Twitch to you guys?
No, we don't have that set up. Just the Patreon right now. That's the only way.
Okay. So what's the Patreon address?
Patreon.com/back2dials.
Patreon.com/backedials.
So no one took me up on my offer.
It's really neat that we can have a lot of these guys giving X-Wing to the rest of the community. And the great way that we can do it is by showing support financially or just being here and watching. So if you guys want to, we don't have any filthy internet beso bucks or anything like that, but if you want to donate to their Patreon, I highly suggest you guys do it.
This new camera was paid for in part by Patreon dollars, which is why it looks so nice and clear, this isometric view. Also, if they have any feedback, where can I send that?
So if you guys have any feedback, probably about the audio, right? We were
podcast@gmail.com.
It's fair, warranted.
feedback at Minoc podcast.
I'm gonna start a new email. It's gonna be back to dials at minoc.com.
You could just forward it to our feedback.
Right.
Just say,
I'll just set it to exactly.
We get Launch Bay Next bug reports all the time.
This looks like it's going to be a giant parking lot.
Which is really in Ben's favor.
Yep. The game's not over yet. We're still
Oh,
only
no, absolutely not.
42 points away right here. You get half points on Poe. That's 40 right there. So as a teammate of Ken's, and I don't want to give too much away, he does a great job at playing the game and initial jouster setup. The thing that he struggles with the most is mid and late game. So I'm hoping that he can pull this out. He's definitely favored right now.
Well, it's still a game because everything's still alive.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens.
So Ben did the little side 2-turn trick.
Yeah.
Did they do it incorrectly? What was the
He
adjustment?
did a Talon roll,
Oh, I see.
but he did it out the side instead out of the
Got it.
front. So
Makes
there
total sense.
Yep.
I gotta say, good job, FFG, on those side hash marks.
Oh yes, that's instrumental. Looks like it's gonna be a bump.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
So this is where I wouldn't. Okay, good, because
Oh, because he stays put.
if he's doing it out the side, it's good
you
to,
can't-
to mark.
Right.
You need a mark.
Well,
Because
so he could have slid that torrent forward half a base, but it looked like the rear corner would still have caught the arc.
Yeah. So this is the skill of the swarm player to create this just bump and, in my opinion, to create a way to take advantage of this type of stuff. And we'll see if Sinker plays into a role in this too. Mm-hmm. Oh, it looks like he's staying put.
Would you what would you have dialed up for Nien there? Because that your options are tremendously, like, they're all high leverage. They're all exciting.
I'm calling a 3 bank or into 3 Talon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I don't think you could fit a 3 bank left there. And you probably can't fit a 4K. But you better believe that Ken's wants to try to pull off some Black 1 shenanigans
Right.
here. But it doesn't look like that's the case.
Those gas clouds interact interestingly with Nien too, because they do rob him of an action. Because he just flat out skips his perform action step, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hard out
So it
or
looks,
Talon.
Look, he's doing a Talon. Nope, 3 hard.
Yeah, hard out.
But
But he has the option, right, to flip around now?
No, because he went over that
Oh,
gas
he did. You're
cloud.
right. That's an action
So-
to activate Black One.
You guys might want to get in on this if he's trying to do a Talon roll, because I'm guessing that's what he wants to do, and that would be illegal.
Wait.
He's not. He just flipped the pose dial.
Okay. Good. Phew. We don't have to fix anything.
Did he not get a token?
No, because he went over the gas cloud, so he didn't get to take it. He skips his action step.
Like he
Yeah,
doesn't-
regardless of when it happens.
No strain?
No strain. It's just skip the perform action step.
Oh, there goes Poe.
Well, there goes Sinker. Or, no, I'm sorry, the 104th Battalion pilot.
Oh, poor clones.
We're clowns, sir. We're meant to be expendable.
Plo Koon!
Look who's not in this list.
That's why no one responded.
Farmer's so jazzed about Plo's bros.
Who's he firing on? Shh.
Oh,
Brutal.
rough. Sinker went down on a hit crit. He had a focus blank was the roll.
There go the rerolls.
Crit.
Yeah, it was a evaded. Okay, well, I'm actually gonna sign off here. Get ready for next round. Mentally prepare.
Sounds good. We'll hand back the reins to the real hosts.
Yep. D,
Thanks, Dutch. Always a pleasure.
I'm sure we'll be seeing each other. If not,
I hope not.
you could see me in the bar later tonight.
I'll try and dodge all you danger zones.
Thanks again. Appreciate it. Thank you to Adam and Asa.
Yeah, lugging all this gear,
for-
setting it up.
Thanks for having us. And yeah.
Didn't they say next round was lunch round?
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we actually have another half hour.
Actually, I told my guys I'd buy them lunch, so I'm gonna get taken off.
I guess I'll just
They're bringing us lunch.
sit and relax.
I don't want to eat greasy pizza. This is part of tournament prep for us. Is sure, go ahead and load yourself up with greasy
look at you
pizza.
being healthy.
I am going to eat a nice soft sandwich. That
Protein, whole grains, those two things are the key. And hydration
yes, for sure.
for energy. And it's actually kind of shocking how much protein the brain chews through when it's actively engaged. We don't think about it, but oh man, I forget the numbers, but it's outrageous. Like how many grams of protein, like your fatty mass of just neurons and gray matter consumes.
Fatty mass.
You are all brain, Asa. You're
not
genius. Dutch here, for those of you who don't know what he looks like, he's tall and lean. He's svelte. So sexy.
Tricked ya.
Hey, look, I found a microphone. Hello, everybody. My name is Adam from
Hi,
Back to
Adam.
Dials. Hi, D. I'm glad you could join us.
Glad to be here.
It looks like that is time. So this will be the last round of this game. Ben taking it too hard into that gas cloud. Now, D.
Yo.
So let's say that you're some guy who runs a podcast for some reason, but you still don't know what gas clouds do. What do they do?
So they are an obstacle,
Okay, so they're an obstacle.
meaning that when you are defending and the shot is obstructed, you roll an extra die.
Cool. I'm liking it so far.
On top of that, it has the old first edition auto thrusters effect where you may convert one of your green dice results to an evade. So they're defensively amazing. Moreover, crossing them isn't too much of a bear either because the only negative effect of overlapping them is skipping your perform action step.
Okay. So you don't get any tokens. You just skip your perform action.
Yeah, that's the only drawback.
All right. That's pretty sweet.
Their shape is very strange, especially that long chili pepper. It's both small and big, depending on your approach.
Yeah, it's interesting how they're kind of like curvy and long instead of, I guess, big and round.
All three of them are larger than I expected, based on previous. What?
Ace was making faces at us again.
Which is fine. My wife doesn't mind when my bros flirt with me.
Well, that's good.
Oh yeah, I was just saying. In the previews, they looked smaller than I'd anticipated. Than they are in that. I can't talk anymore. Than I was anticipating them to be in in my grubby fingers.
Yeah, they're pretty sizable things.
If you're a bad player like me, they're a veritable boon.
Well, I almost find myself hitting that little, that little mustache rock. It looks like a mustache.
Right, it's
little
the
tiny
smallest
one.
rock.
That's the one I always hit. Like the big ones, like, okay, stay away from those. But the little ones, you're like, I think I can fit it. Oh, I didn't fit.
Well, especially if you're flying any sort of swarm. So with Sinker, Ben can have them a little loose, but range 2 is still a fairly restrictive tether. So the benefit here, it's absolutely the right choice for Ben's squad because he can fly over them and not worry about getting stressed for the next turn because those torrents, man, the blues are not good.
Yeah.
You can shoot while you're on them, so they're fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, no mining guild tie shenanigans where
Yeah.
they could just, I guess everyone can kind of fly through them equally.
Well, on the other hand, in this match, it never really came into play because the fight went down amongst the other three obstacles.
Yeah, and then kind of in that pocket to the right.
But aces love them too because anytime it's obstructed, it's just built-in auto thrusters, and it's a combination of old stealth device and auto thrusters. So everyone's Suntir fell.
Oh, we got half on Poe.
Not tabled.
Well, he had half on Lulo also, so.
Oh, he did. That's
Yeah,
right.
but anyways. All right, and that looks like it's the end of the game. Ken Cho victorious over Ben Hamor. An excellent game. Really fun to see these new ships on the table. D, any post-game thoughts?
Just I really feel for Ben because if any single one of those the 104th Battalion blocks had actually worked on Poe, we result could have been drastically different.
Oh yeah, like if he would have turned, if Ken would have just turned in or done anything different, but he just kept Poe skirting the edge right like he should have, and it paid off for sure.
30-minute lunch break?
30-minute lunch break?
Yep.
Okay. It looks like we're going to go ahead and take a 30-minute lunch break, and then we will be back for round 2. I believe Asa and I are commentating. So we'll be back.
Exciting.
Yep. So Dee, thank you very much for being on.
Oh, my
Good
pleasure.
luck
I'm not leaving.
today.
Just leave the audio on. I'm just going to ruminate to myself.
All right. I think let's go ahead and put on some music, and that way we can eat some food and stuff. We don't want you to get your voice too hoarse or anything for playing your games out there.
Oh, I'm the second loudest player in the community, so.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and take a break. We will be right back.